Just carefully listen to these sounds. So the sounds that you heard just now were of course undesirable and unpleasant for your ears. That is, those sounds were disturbing you. Now this unwanted, unpleasant sound that disturb us are known as noise. So what is noise? Noise refers to the loud and unpleasant sound that causes disturbances in us. Now the sounds from construction sites, the traffic noise and the sound of loudspeakers and bursting of firecrackers are usually very unpleasant, and therefore these sounds are regarded as noise. Now although these sounds are unpleasant, but there are other sounds in the environment like chirping of birds, normal conversation between people, which are not unpleasant for us. So how can we distinguish normal sound from noise? So as I just mentioned, we hear lot of sounds in our everyday lives like soft whisper, normal conversation between people, honking of cars, songs and music at rock concerts, and even bursting of firecrackers. Now this bursting of firecrackers is usually very common during Diwali festival. Now do you think all these sounds are unpleasant? Of course not. For instance, soft whisper can hardly be heard as it is quite low, whereas honking of cars are quite loud and it disturbs us. So there are some sounds in our surrounding that are pleasant and they do not disturb us, while there are other sounds that are unpleasant to hear and it often disturbs us. Now from this we also understand that the sounds are of different intensities, and we can measure the sound level with a unit which is known as decibel. So decibel is the unit of measuring sound level, and the abbreviated or short form of decibel is dB. D is written in small and B is written in capital letters. So this is how you denote the unit of measuring sound level. Now as I just mentioned, different sounds in the environment have different intensities, and we can denote the sound level using decibel, which is the unit for measuring sound. Now soft whisper, as we know, is quite low and it is hardly heard. A soft whisper is usually of 30 decibel. The normal conversation between two persons is of 60 decibel. While there are other sounds that are quite loud. For instance, we know the traffic noise is quite loud and it is usually of 85 decibel and above. Rock concerts are usually of 110 decibel, while bursting of firecrackers are even louder and they are of 140 decibel. Now as I just mentioned, the normal conversation between two people is of 60 decibel. Now this 60 decibel and below is considered as the normal sound. And any sound that is above this tolerable limit are usually unpleasant for us, and it creates disturbances in our ears. So if any sound is louder than the tolerable limit, then it is considered as noise. So as I just mentioned that the normal sound level is of 60 decibel. and any sound level higher than this is usually considered as noise. In fact, particularly the sound level of 70 decibel and above is considered as noise, and prolonged existence of these loud unwanted noise in the environment leads to noise pollution. And the various sources of noise pollution in the environment are honking of cars, loud rock concerts. In fact, use of loudspeakers also leads to noise pollution, and the firecrackers that we usually burn during Diwali also causes noise pollution. We shall now discuss about different effects of noise pollution. Now, before we proceed with our lesson, let us try to answer this question. Sound level of dash creates noise pollution. Is it 70 decibel and above? Is it 50 decibel and below? Is it 40 decibel and below? Or is it 30 decibel and below? What do you think? Yes, the correct option is 70 decibel and above. Now, if you remember, I just mentioned that any sound of 70 decibel and above is very loud and leads to noise pollution. So, till now we understood the meaning of noise pollution and various sources of noise pollution. Let us now discuss about various effects of noise pollution. Now, noise pollution is harmful for both human beings and animals. Prolonged exposure to loud and unpleasant noise may cause partial or permanent loss of hearing. Very often, loud noise causes headache and irritation. It can also lead to insomnia and hypertension. So, we understand that noise pollution is indeed very harmful, and it can even permanently damage our hearing sensation. So, we must look for ways in which we can control noise pollution. Listen to this sound very carefully. So, you must have experienced that the sound produced by this bike was quite unpleasant and loud, and it was disturbing us, isn't it? Now, we often hear this type of loud sounds in roads in our everyday lives, isn't it? So, what can we do to control this type of noise? Now, again hear this sound very carefully. Well, this time the sound produced by the vehicle was not that unpleasant. Can you tell me why? Well, in the second case, as we heard, the sound produced by the bike was not that loud and unpleasant. This is because a device called silencer was fitted in the bike. Now, this silencer helps to reduce the sound produced by the vehicles. So, to prevent the noise produced by the traffic, every vehicles must be fitted with silencers so that we would be able to control noise pollution. You must have noticed this traffic signal in roads. Do you know what does this mean? Well, this traffic signal instructs the drivers not to blow horns. So, these type of traffic signals must be installed at every junctions of the road so that unnecessary blowing of horns can be prohibited. So, these are the different ways in which we would be able to control noise pollution produced by traffic. Firstly, every vehicles must be fitted with silencers so that the noise produced by them can be controlled. Secondly, these traffic signals should be installed so that unnecessary blowing of car horns can be prohibited. Now, let us look for other ways in which we can control noise pollution. Now, as I have mentioned previously, loudspeakers also creates noise pollution. So, use of loudspeakers, especially at the public places, should be restricted. Now, the government should intervene in this case and must set up laws that will lead to reduction of noise pollution. For instance, they can restrict the use of loudspeakers. Again, by implementing certain laws, they can strictly ban burning of firecrackers. Now, these firecrackers, as I have mentioned previously, produce loud noise and they also lead to air pollution. So, bursting of firecrackers should be strictly banned by the government. So, apart from individuals, even government can take the initiative to reduce noise pollution. For instance, they should restrict the use of loudspeakers and they should ban the use of firecrackers. Now, apart from traffic noise and the sound of loudspeakers and firecrackers, the sound produced at factories also leads to noise pollution. So, to control noise pollution, factories should be situated far away from residential areas. Now, situation of factories away from residential areas will not only reduce noise pollution but will also reduce air pollution, as factories not only causes noise pollution but also causes air and other types of pollution, as we have discussed previously. In fact, the machineries present in these factories that produce noise should be oiled and lubricated at regular intervals so that they do not produce any unpleasant sound when they are in use. So, this is yet another measure in which we can control noise pollution. Now, you must have noticed that we put up curtains and laid down carpets to decorate our rooms. Now, you will be surprised to know that these objects like curtains and carpets not only beautify our room but they also act as good sound absorbers. So, the curtains and the carpets absorb the loud sound produced in our surroundings and help to control noise pollution. Now, just like carpets and curtains, trees also act as good sound absorbers. That is, the trees soak the loud noise produced in the environment. So, to mitigate noise pollution, the roads must be lined with trees on both the sides. In fact, we find that planting of trees is the remedy for all kinds of pollution, be it soil pollution, air pollution and even noise pollution. Thus, we must plant as much as trees as possible so that our planet becomes greener and cleaner. So, this brings us to the end of today's discussion on noise pollution. So, in today's video, we first understood the meaning of noise pollution. Noise refers to any sound that is above 75 decibel. Now, long exposure to this kind of sound leads to noise pollution. Then we also discussed about different sources of noise pollution and various effects of noise pollution. Later, we discussed about different ways in which we can control noise pollution. In our next video, we will discuss about another type of pollution, that is nuclear pollution. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers or to get access to our 5,000 amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million+ questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubt resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, but it's rewarding too. So register for free now.